Hey guys, what's up and welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing something a little bit different today. This is something that I don't regularly do on my channel, and it's definitely something that I think I want to do more regularly. I sit and think about content for my channel a lot. It consumes my brain almost more than anything, to be totally honest with you. We see so many products being tested out, full face of new products, full face of first impressions, but we never really hear much about a lot of those products after the fact. I feel like tutorials have really taken a back seat, and I totally get it. I mean, there is pretty much a tutorial out there for almost anything. If you want the perfect wing liner, if you want the perfect wing liner for hooded eyes, whatever the case may be, chances are there is a video out there. Where I'm trying to go with this is that there's just not a lot of follow-up. You will see maybe a video that's like full face using my old favorites, or do I still love these items? But they're kind of few and far between. As a consumer, when I go to buy products, whether it's on Amazon, Sephora, I'm reading reviews. I want to see what people are saying, but most importantly, I want to see what people are saying after they've used a product several times. Before we even jump into this, leave a comment down below and let me know how you feel about what I'm saying so far. Are there items that you specifically want to see follow-up videos on? Maybe you saw me review a particular eyeshadow palette or a foundation or a brow product or a lip product, and you would just like to see those products incorporated more so than just like a monthly favorites. You guys want to see those products in action, I would assume. The first product that we are going to take a look back on officially on this channel is the Tati Beauty Blendiful. Last night I was up on my phone and somehow I got on a Reddit click hole, and I actually found a video of my own on a Reddit thread, and I was just like, oh, little old me finally made its way onto a Reddit thread. But it was essentially the video where I took the Blendiful and I put it against different beauty blenders. And a lot of people really seemed to appreciate that video, which made me feel awesome because I did put a lot of thought into that video. I put a lot of effort into it, and I knew that it was something that a lot of people wanted to see. So here I am. I want to do a follow-up with you guys on the Tati Beauty Blendiful. Yes, I have been using this consistently for the last 2 months since I've gotten my hands on it. I believe this actually launched about 2.5 months ago, almost 3 months ago to be exact. I have washed this, I have used this in so many different ways. So here I am to follow up with you guys and let you know, is this something that I would continue to keep using, what I absolutely love about it, and the things that I have had trouble with. Let's go ahead and jump into it and let's talk about the Blendiful. All right, so like I said, this little guy right here has been out for about 2.5 months now, and I have really put it through the ringer. I have tried this for cream blush. I have tried this for powder blush, cream bronzer, cream contour, powder bronzer. I have tried it for setting powder, finishing powder, highlighters, Super Shock highlighters from ColourPop, stuff that has that more bouncy texture. I've tried loose highlighters. Hell, I have even tried eyeshadow with this. So I do have the Baby Blendiful in front of me, and we're going to talk about this guy in just a moment. So let's talk about the things that I have really learned to love about the Blendiful. The number one thing I notice when I do my makeup with this, especially with foundation, is how well I can press this into every nook and cranny on my face. That is the number one positive. Usually I get foundation bunching up around my nose here. It just never fails. Doesn't matter what foundation, doesn't matter if I'm using a brush, a beauty blender, it doesn't matter what setting powder I'm using. For some reason, I've always noticed that I just get product collecting around my nose right here. One thing the Blendiful does perfectly is that it totally eliminates that. I'm gonna try to zoom in the camera, but as you guys can see, I really don't have any product bunching around my nose. I used my L'Oreal 24-hour foundation mixed with my Too Faced Do You foundation, which is a tried and true favorite of mine from the last several months. It just takes away any of that bunchiness and it really presses product into the skin. This is something that I stressed in my initial review of the Blendiful, is how well it just lets product kind of meld with the skin. It kind of makes your skin and the product one. It just looks beautiful. It's flawless. It just takes away from a lot of texture, pores, fine lines, because like I said, it's that motion of actually pressing the product in these little swipey motions that just make product go on beautifully. So that's number one. Number two, this is a godsend for cream blush. So the way that I like to do it is I will put the blush right here on my hand. For example, Glossier Cloud Paint, one of my favorites in the shade Beam, gorgeous. And as you can see, There's the mark for my blush. I will pick some of it up on the Blendiful and I just start to kind of dab it on the cheeks and apply. Now, if I feel like I've gone too heavy, I can just go to a clean part of the Blendiful and just kind of buff that out and blend it in, and I get perfect application every single time. It never fails. Just specifically this product too in general. Like, I mean, yes, I do like other cream blushes, but this one, like a very creamy texture, almost borderline liquidy, just works like a dream, and it goes on flawlessly. And again, I think it has something to do with that kind of pressing, sweeping, stippling motion that just makes the product go on so beautifully. Number 3, if you love powder foundation, this is going to be your best friend. I feel like sometimes with powder foundations, no matter how pigmented they are, when you're using a brush specifically, or like a flat, densely packed kabuki brush, you can get really good coverage, but there's a fine line with looking cakey when it comes to powder products. Now, especially like mineral foundations, oh my goodness, this will press that powder into the skin effortlessly. You're gonna use a lot less product. It's just gonna look beautiful. It's not gonna look thick or cakey or bunchy or overly powdery. This just works effortlessly for that. Let's go ahead and talk about one thing. I don't really have, I'll be honest with you up front, I don't really have a lot of negative things to say about my Blendiful. I have to be honest with you. Only thing I can say is that when cleaning this, and this is just like any other product, whether it be a brush or a beauty blender, there are certain soaps and cleansers that do cleanse this guy better than others. I have found that a bar soap cleans this much better, but sometimes I do go through stages where I can't quite get foundation out of this guy. Now, I only used this side today because I wanted to show you guys, because I recently cleaned it, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on camera, but there is a little bit of product residue right here. Now, that doesn't always happen. I don't know why that is. It's just one of those things that I've noticed. Is it a deal breaker for me? Definitely not, because I noticed the same thing with my beauty blender. Sometimes there are just parts of the beauty blender or my Blendiful that I just can't quite get clean. And I do want to be more gentle when I clean this, because I have seen some people complain that their Blendiful is tearing, and that can happen if you are too rough with the product. I have been a little bit rough with it sometimes when I'm using it, and I can tell that there has been some strain right here on the edges where this guy is. I almost kind of wish, and this would be some feedback, that this wasn't on here. I wish that it was just like a little tag right here that just said Tati Beauty. I don't really feel like this is used very often. I'm not really putting my hand like this in here and patting on product, at least me personally. I just feel like you are setting it up for the product to start to rip and tear. The nice thing about it is, though, is that if it does rip and tear, you can just take a little bit of thread and sew it right back up. Now, should you have to do that? No. But the reason why I'm saying that is if you accidentally get a little bit too rough with it, you pull on it, you tug it, you did something while you were cleaning it, and you were that extreme to where you did notice that there was a tear in the edge, it is something that is easily fixed. Those are some things that I would mention that are not my favorite things about it, but they're definitely not deal breakers. Let me bounce back now and talk about just a couple more things that I really do enjoy about this. When you do apply powder products, you have a ton of control. I don't know what it is, but that is another thing that I absolutely love. And that obviously applies to the cream products too. I like how you can just like shape this in any way you want. So like, for example, if you want to lay down contour, you can kind of bend this guy down and pat it in like this. And then once you're ready to buff, boom, you're buffing in an upward motion to create that beautiful contour. Same thing with cream products. I can use as small of an area as I want. For example, if I'm putting on highlight, which I went crazy with today. Yes, I was in the mood to glow. But you know, if you want to get in more exact areas, if you're trying to get foundation here, concealer, and you're trying to get into the inner corners, even if you're trying to use this even just for an all over eye look, you're trying to use just a powder shadow all over the eyes, this thing is so moldable and movable, is that a word, that you can get into those nooks and crannies of your face. So that is another highlight of it. And again, I like that you have so much control. I mean, boom, you can put a little pocket here and just like that with blush or whatever. It does allow you to have a lot of control when using the product. So that is another plus. Let's talk about the little baby Blendiful right here. I have to be real with you guys. I haven't really reached for this. The reason being is because I'm not a big touch-up person. I very rarely take a look in the mirror and think, ooh, I need to really touch up my makeup. I don't want to say that's high maintenance. That's just not me, I guess you should say. Definitely not a high maintenance thing. I've definitely retouched my makeup in the past, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't care. If my foundation's breaking up a little bit, it's makeup, it's gonna happen. Obviously, if I see like a major flaw, I'm gonna wanna try to fix it, but I think that that was the intention for this product, was to be able to have it be something that you can bring on the go, and if you do wanna make those touch-ups, kind of re-blend out product, kind of make things look a little bit less oily, that's what it's good for. And I think that it's a great idea, just for me personally. I just haven't reached for this guy very often. Now it is a little bit more stiff. It's not as bendable as the larger Blendiful is, but again, I think that is for the fact that you can repress makeup into the skin, kind of make things look flush again. You can use a little bit of powder to kind of touch up your makeup, that sort of thing. I'm not knocking the idea. I just have to be honest with you guys in the follow-up to let you know that I just don't really reach for this. I think I pretty much covered all my bases. I do want to mention one more thing though, that I did use the Blendiful pretty much for my entire look today as far as complexion. I put on my primer with it. I did concealer, foundation, cream contour, highlighter, cream blush, setting powder, which is no longer sitting in front of me for some odd reason. But I did my entire complexion using the Blendiful just like I had been. So I just want to get on camera and show you guys that this is the finished product. And I am convinced, I am confident that it is a good product. I feel totally comfortable sitting here and telling you guys that if you have been debating picking up a Blendiful, that it is worth checking out. Now, obviously with everything that's going on in the world right now, a ton of distribution centers have shut down completely, whether it be clothing, supplements, makeup. A lot of brands have closed their doors to kind of help eliminate the risk and the spread. I know that Tati's brand is one of those. Her palette and the Blendiful are kind of at a standstill. She has listed these products as sold out right now. They're not really sold out, but they're listed that way so that no one can add them to their cart. So obviously when things are back to normal, which I cannot wait for, I know all of us are in that same boat, that you will be able to go ahead and order these. Now, just a refresher, you do get both. You get the large Blendiful and you get the baby Blendiful. I believe it retails for $18 and they are only available through Tati Beauty. There you guys have it. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what products that you would love to see a follow-up video on, whether it be application or just a quick overview, just like this video today. Obviously, if there are any new products that you'd like to see me review, leave them in the comments down below. My favorite thing to do ever is to provide you guys with in-depth, honest, upfront reviews, first impressions, and I think that follow-ups are important. I know that there is a lot of distrust in the beauty community because there is that fine line when creators get bigger and bigger and bigger. There's that fine line between, well, do I trust them or are they just saying something to get PR or to stay on a PR list? And I have said this from the beginning, that's never going to be me. I'm just not interested in that. Getting free products, great, fantastic, but I'm always going to be honest with you guys no matter what. And believe it or not, I haven't been added to a lot of PR lists, but I've been removed from some. Do I know the exact reason? No. Do I care? No, I have to be honest with you guys. I really don't. So there you guys have it. That is my pledge to you. And I just want you to feel confident in knowing that when I review a product that you're going to get an honest upfront follow-up. And I think by doing these follow-up videos, 2, 3, 4, or however months down the line, letting you guys know that I'm still using a product or what I'm thinking about it will help you make an informed decision if you'd like to purchase something. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, share it, and of course be sure to subscribe to my channel before you go. If you enjoy the content and you want to get notifications when I upload, please be sure to hit that bell button. Hitting that bell button and getting notifications sent to you helps me so much because obviously then I don't get hidden in the mass of all of the beautiful content that is out there, and thumbs up and comments definitely do help my channel get discovered as well. So if you want to support me, those are the very best things that you can do. Just know that I appreciate it so much. I love you guys and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.